Hey fam, so I'm back again with another recap of 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. So I'm gonna just be honest with y'all, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather this week. I'm not 100% and I really was contemplating whether or not I was gonna film this recap today, but the rest of my week is gonna be like super busy and crazy and I know I wouldn't have time. So I'm going to just take my little holiday and film this for y'all and edit it, and hopefully it'll be ready to go by Tuesday. So I hope you guys had a wonderful, nice, long weekend. I hope you spent a lot of time with family. I hope you rested. I hope you ate lots of barbecue and good food. And I hope you watched 90 Day Fiance on Sunday night because it was crazy. Let's get into this recap. So I'm going to start out with our new couples, and I'm going to get right into Angela and Michael. This week, Angela and Michael have taken a play out of Jesse and Darcey's playbook because they argued this entire episode, y'all. I mean, I am really feeling bad for Michael because there is a definite culture clash going on here with this couple. Pretty much this whole episode, they were just kind of sightseeing around Nigeria and going to different places, and I mean, it started off with, you know, them coming in from somewhere, and Angela has on this swimsuit slash halter shirt bra combination thing. I don't know what she had on. Her, you know, chesticles were out, and, you know, of course, they seem to have been bickering a lot her whole visit. It seems like Michael looks weary. He looks like he needs a lineup and a glass of water and a nap. It looks like Angela is just wearing him out. And he doesn't know what to do. He is distraught because she is just picking at him and snapping on him every 2 seconds. He already got snapped on for calling her fat. He got snapped on for saying she needed to look younger. And like I said last week, I don't think this is him trying to be offensive. I really just think it is the way that he speaks. I think it's a cultural thing. I don't think that he's saying fat to be mean. I think he's just saying you're fat, like you're bigger. Like that's just what you are. And like, I don't think he means it wrong. Honestly, don't think that he's calling her fat or saying any of these things in a mean way. I think it's just Angela's super sensitive and she's taking it like he's being mean, but I think it's just how he talks. So there is definite culture clash going on. Michael really doesn't want to say much to Angela at this point because everything he does seems to set her off. And so he doesn't want to poke the bear. So he's kind of keeping his opinion to himself now. He's learned that the things that he says set Angela off, and he's tired of hearing that smoker's voice scream at him. So he's just going to be quiet. They start off arguing about her smoking her cigarette. She tells him, I'm about to smoke my cigarette. He lets it go. And so when they get back in the hotel room, you know, she was asking was what she's wearing okay? And Michael kind of, you know, doesn't want to say no, but at the same time, he knows that it's really not for where they're going and things that they're planning to do around Nigeria. So he kind of tells her, you know, well, maybe you could cover up a little more. And she just goes off about that. Well, why'd you let me walk around with it on? This don't look like hooch where I come from. So, you know, I didn't think it was nothing wrong with it. And I'm like, well, Angela, every single time he says something to you, you snap on him. So if you put on the halter top with your chest out, he's not going to say you need to cover up because he already knows that your body and, you know, issues with your physical appearance is a trigger for you. So Michael has learned this. So he let you wear what you want to wear. And now you mad at him because he didn't tell you that it wasn't appropriate. So it's like this man can't win for losing. He gonna get snapped on if he tell you something. He gonna get snapped on if he don't. What is he supposed to do? You keep giving him these mixed signals. Do you want him to tell you or do you want him to not tell you? Angela wore me out this episode. I mean, she was just hollering and fussing, and I'm one of those people. I'm laid back and I holler and fuss too. You know, I holler at my dog. I don't have no kids, but you know, I fuss at my dog and I fuss at my man, and I do, you know, do a lot of fussing and hollering, but not to that point. You know, I feel like she was just taking it to the 10th degree, and I was like, Angela, you just need to chill out. She seems like she's real sensitive. And everything just seems to set her off, and that's exactly what Michael said. Later that evening, or I don't know which day it was, they go out and have a few drinks with some of Michael's friends. The same ones that we saw in the second episode when we first met Michael, who said he was dating his grandma. It was those same 3 guys. Real nice looking dudes. Angela is just going in, grilling them, asking them how many girlfriends has Michael had. Oh, is he talking to anybody now? Who are all these women on Facebook and Instagram that he's following? And I'm like, you really think these dudes about to tell you if this man talking to other women? You really think they about to tell? Like, that's bro code rule number 1. Like, you don't reveal your man's secrets. Angela is going about this all wrong, and she wants to find out if Michael's really doing dirt. Asking his bros is not the way to do it, because they are going to have his back 100% of the time all the time. They will lie for him, they will die for him, they will do whatever he needs him to do, because that's what bros do for each other. So to me, she needs to do her own investigative work, because straight up asking his friends, is he cheating on me, is not going to get her the information that she's seeking. After getting asked 150,000 questions, finally, you know, his friend is just like, look, lady, all right, he's a good dude, chill out. Like, you gotta chill, okay? Nigerian men like women who are more quiet, more submissive. They like the man to be in charge. That is their culture. The reason why Michael keeps calling Angela masculine is not because he thinks that she looks like a man or something. It's the way that she's so outspoken and the way she takes charge. That to them in their culture is very masculine, because that's typically what men do. Angela said that's never gonna happen. She said it's never going to be that when Michael comes to America, he's going to be over her household. She said ain't no way, ain't no how. It's going to be 50-50, okay? He going to have half and I'm going to have half. It's going to be mutual respect in this household. And I totally feel her. I totally agree. You know, me and Angela are next door neighbors, and us Southern women are very headstrong. We are very outspoken, and that's a quality that I find endearing about us. But, you know, in that culture, it's not so cute and endearing. It's actually abrasive to them, and it's actually disrespectful almost, to the point where he feels like she doesn't respect him as the man and that she's not going to, and she's not. Honestly, Michael, baby, listen, I know you want to get to America. I know you want to be like Donald Trump, but honey, I don't think this gonna work. I don't think this is the way to do it. You're going to be fighting this woman tooth and nail. It's going to be a constant power struggle. Okay, she's not going to back down. She's not going to calm down. And she's not going to let you run her household when you come to America. So two things need to happen. First, either you need to find another woman who's American and jump on her back and get over here so you can be a businessman. Or two, you need to get with the fact that Angela is not going to change. She's not going to quit smoking her cigarettes. She's not going to let you be the man of the household. She is going to henpeck you and run you ragged, sir. And then you're going to have sex with her 2-3 times a night. You're going to be wore out. Now, is that worth you being a businessman like Donald Trump? I don't know. That's something that you're going to have to look within yourself and decide if that's what you want to do to get this green card. But what you're trying to get Angela to do ain't going to happen, bruh. Best of luck to yous and your future endeavors. That's it for Angela and Michael. Let's move on to the next couple. Okay, so next we're going to move on to John and Rachel. So I'm not really going to recap John and Rachel, because basically it was them sitting down with his friends that was totally set up by TLC producers. I felt like his friends were asking him questions about his past as if they had never met him. It was like an interview. I didn't really like that. So I'm going to skip right over that and get to the nitty gritty, which is John's criminal record that he disclosed to us in this episode. Basically what John said was, growing up, it seems to me like John got picked on a lot. We see that John is a small man and he seems like he has little man syndrome. And when I say that, I mean, people probably picked on him a lot because he was smaller and thought that they could push him around, and so he had to learn how to fight and scrap in order to let people know, hey, just because I'm little doesn't mean you can push me around. And I can kind of understand that, especially growing up in elementary, middle, and high school. I don't know what they call it in the UK. I know they call it like primary school and university, and I don't know what their grades are, but y'all know what I'm saying. You know, when you're younger, when kids are picking on you and bullying you, you have to learn how to defend yourself. And I totally get that. And if John was defending himself in fights because kids were picking on him or trying to bully him because he was smaller, or he felt the need to protect himself, then that's totally warranted. The thing that kind of makes me a little bit leery is that John said in his interview, he did not say this to Rachel, so I don't know if this was told to Rachel or not, but John said in his interview that he has been in upwards of 50 to 60 fights. Then he proceeds to say that every single time that he was fighting, that it was never him that instigated it. That's what his friends corroborated that. They said, oh, we've never seen him pick a fight. It's always him defending himself or defending someone else. He told a story about the guy's eye that he pulverized, which I'm pretty sure he did. You know, how he had said something disrespectful to a group of girls and John didn't like that. So, you know, I think that John has Captain Save-A-Hole syndrome as well. So he got little man syndrome probably growing up. He got picked on, he got bullied, and he had to show people that, look, you're not going to push me around. And then I also think that he has Captain Save-A-Hole syndrome. And if you don't know what that is, that means that he feels the need to be a hero. He's caping for everybody. You know, people that didn't ask him to put the cape on, he think he Batman. Like, he think he's a regular dude. He sees crime and injustice going on in Gotham City, and he gonna throw his cape on and hop in the Batmobile and go, you know, punch some faces in to protect those helpless women who are getting disrespected by these brutes who are, you know, yelling out obscenities at them at the bar. That's really what I think John was doing. And, you know, that almost sounds noble. It almost sounds noble. But then when you really break it down, it's dysfunctional. And y'all know I already have said that John is slow. And to me, that is a characteristic of someone who is slow. His brain, to me, it can't put together when you need to not let something happen. Like when you just need to let it go and walk away. Everything doesn't have to be a fight. And you know what? I do believe that John was defending himself a lot of times, but there is absolutely no way possible that 50 or 60 times you was just chilling. You chilling. I'm on chill. And somebody came to you with some mess to where you had to defend yourself. 50 or 60 times? You on chill? Minding your own. Minding your own business. And somebody comes to you with some mess that you feel like your physical body is being threatened, that you have to beat their eyeballs in. I don't think that happened. I think a lot of the fights that John instigated on his own, because he may have seen something going on. He may have seen someone that he felt was in distress, or he felt needed his protection. Maybe they did ask for it. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. But he cannot walk away from a confrontation, it seems like. And that to me is a disconnect in your brain, because you at a certain point, you have to be mature enough to say, no, you know, whatever do, you know, somebody bump you in the club, somebody bump you walking out of the bar, people drunk, people, yeah, you know, men do those things where they try to buck up at you and try to see what you're gonna do. And you know, every single thing cannot come to blows. And the fact that every single time it came to blows with John lets me know that there's screws are loose. They're loose. They rattling around in there. And to me, it's like he probably flips this switch to where he blacks. I really think that he does this. I think that he almost has this moment where it's like a switch flips. It's like a dog. Y'all ever seen a pit bull? Like a pit bull, they can be real sweet. But if their owner is threatened or something they love is threatened, they flip a switch and they become a totally different person. And it's like that sweet dog that you saw before is no longer there. It's gone. They have turned into something else, and they clamp down and they're not letting go. You can kick them, you can hit them. They're not letting go. And I think that that's what happens to John. I think his brain, I think if there's a disconnect there, and I don't think his reasoning skills are strong enough for him to sit there and say, you know what, this dude is talking crap, you know, about this girl, but you know what, that's not my business. You know, she seems to be okay. Maybe he could go up and ask her, do you need me to walk you to your car? Something that doesn't involve violence. You know, I feel like if he wants to save everybody and protect everybody, he can do it in a way that doesn't involve him bashing people's heads in with his fists. And that to me is concerning. I think Rachel should be concerned. I think she should be concerned for her children, both of them, which she does have two. She seemed to forget that she had two. She actually did mention the other daughter this episode, surprisingly. I thought we had forgot about her. I don't even know the baby name. All I know is Lucy. But she with her daddy, and it's probably better for her. Daddy of Rachel's other baby, if you are watching this, please keep your baby, because Rachel is out here living loose in these streets. But I digress. I think that Rachel should be concerned, because I do think that there is a deadness to John's eyes, and I think that John has the ability to snap. I think he's kind of like Paul. I think that when under normal circumstances, he is perfectly normal and fine. He's a sweet guy. He seems to love the baby. He does the best he can, even though he is slow. And I don't think that he's just going to just beat on her for no reason. But I do think that if something were to happen, like let's say somebody yelled out something to Rachel while they walking down the street, he can't just say, whatever, ignore him, he's ignorant. He going to turn around and he's going to snap and black out and start beating up on people. And that to me is a problem. He promised Rachel that now that he has something to lose, that he's not going to be doing anything like that he's going to behave. But I honestly don't think he has the mental capacity to know the difference. I think he means well, but I think if the situation were to arise and that kind of thing will come up, I don't think that his brain is strong enough to reason, I have something to lose and let me chill out. I think that he's going to go into pit bull mode and it's going to be lights out for whoever is on the other end of his swinging arm. But, you know, what she's gonna do with him, I don't know. I pray that he's telling the truth when he promised her that he was gonna do better. I pray that he's being honest, but honestly, I really think that John is violent. I think he kind of might be like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I think 99 or maybe 95% of the time he is Dr. Jekyll. He is cool, calm, he is sweet, he's a good guy. I think there's that 5% that turns into Mr. Hyde, and it's really probably scary to see that come out. So y'all, that's all I got for that. But that's my thoughts on John. I really just think that it's kind of scary. It's almost like being with somebody with PTSD. You know, like they come back from the war and you don't really know what's going to set them off. You don't know when, you don't know what. It's kind of scary. And I hope for her sake that she is really thinking hard about this. Lord. Anyway, that's it for John and Rachel. Let's move on to the next couple. Okay, so next is Ricky. Y'all, Ricky is a bigger idiot than I thought he was. And I'm going to tell you why. Ricky was talking to Melissa, who looked like a sex blow-up doll, who was sending him love paragraphs that were super long, and then as soon as he said he was coming to Columbia, immediately cut off conversation with him, was giving him short one-word answers. When he got there, he didn't hear from her for a whole 2 days. Finally, he plans a date. She shows up 3 hours late, is disengaged, don't give a crap about him, and he never hears from her again, even though he invited her out the next day. Ricky has done all of these things to be with someone simply for the way that they look. He was attracted to the big boobs, the fake enhanced body, the big booty. That's what he wanted from Melissa. Now, come to find out this episode, this fool has been talking to another girl from Columbia Cupid this whole time. That is a decent looking girl, cute girl. She looks like a normal human being. She has a regular face and body. She has a nice body, but it doesn't look enhanced. Or if it is enhanced, it's very naturally and tastefully done. This girl looks normal. I can't say anything about her brain. I just mean from her specific looks, she looks like a normal human, cute girl, very much, you know, prettier than Ricky could ever want. And for him to not pursue that over what was going on with Melissa lets me know that this dude is even stupider than he thought. I know a lot of people are saying, Ricky done finessed the game. We thought Ricky was getting caught and he caught. No, Ricky's an idiot, because the way that girl hurried her behind up and came to meet him, he texted her one time and said, hey, I'm in Columbia. She said, where you at? I'll be there tomorrow. So to me, it seems like for her to that quickly roll up at his Airbnb and like hugging him and happy to see him and rubbing all on his legs and bringing him presents, and why have you not pursued this sooner? Why did you even go see Melissa? Why is Melissa even on your radar? To me, he should have been with Jimena from the jump. This girl seems eager. I think she might be a little slow. But you know, you know what? She's not slow. I think that Jimena might be smack dab in the middle of her whole moment, because she came up in that Airbnb ready to go. She was ready for action, honey. She saw those rose petals. She saw that chocolate and that wine, and she was ready to go. She saw everything she needed to see. She brought Ricky some presents. She's ready. She's ready. Like, he took her into the room and said, you know, are you gonna sleep in here? Am I gonna sleep in here? She said, oh no, boo, you sleeping right here. They shut the door. I don't know what happened. Good for Ricky, but Ricky, you're an idiot. You are an idiot. If you mean to tell me you bought a ring for a girl who looks like a porn star, not to say anything wrong with the porn industry, make your money, whatever, but if you're trying to have somebody come into your life and be a mother to your kids, you want somebody that looks like a porn star, that looks like not a real human, that looks like a sex blow-up doll, over a girl who is engaged with you, who is being friendly to you, who seems eager to see you. As soon as you said you were there, she came on. Why did we even fool with Melissa? I mean, what, you were that blinded by some titties? Like, for real. Like, you were that blinded by her TNA that you blew this woman off and put her on the back burner when she should have been the one that you came to Columbia for in the first place. You should have went to wherever that girl was. And I know that's what it was. I know Ricky wanted Melissa because of how she looked. Because Jimena does not look like Melissa. Jimena is a cute girl. She don't look like Melissa. There is a big difference between the looks in these two women, and that was what Ricky was after. Ricky was going for those looks, and now that Melissa has blown him off, he's like, well, I do have this other girl. And then this girl thinking that he came here for her. I'm like, you know this on TV, right? So she gonna see this. So she gonna know that she was the second choice. So I think he need to go ahead and fess up. He should have went on and told her, well, I was here to see somebody else. It didn't work out, but I know you're here too. I mean, that might not have sounded so good, but she seemed so excited to come on down. she probably wouldn't have even cared. I think he needs to be honest and just go and tell Jimena the truth, because when it comes out, it's harder for somebody to hear the truth from another like person or on TV or something like that than it is from the horse's mouth. So he need to go ahead and tell her. But I just can't believe, like, my mind was blown at how eager this girl was. And the fact that he has put her on the back burner and waited all this time. He didn't even come to see her. Why were you not coming to see her? Why? I don't understand. Because she didn't have some big titties and a big fake booty? That's why? Like, Ricky, get your priorities straight. Dude, you always go for the girl that is giving you the most attention. I know she might not have looked like maybe whatever you wanted to, but this girl was clearly someone that was interested in you, and you always go for that, Ricky. Ricky knows nothing about dating. We've seen that. Where his friends at? They need to put him on game, because he clearly does not understand what you're supposed to do when you have options. What you go for first. What's your first choice? You always go for the one that's giving you the most attention. Always. You feel that one out first. If it doesn't go anywhere, then you go to the one that's being kind of dry. You never go for the dry one first. Ever. I don't care what she looked like. Don't go for the dry one. She gonna leave you high and dry. And you've been sending this girl money because of how she looked. I bet Jimena ain't got a dime from him. Good for Ricky for finding the girl that he was supposed to be with, but I'm pissed that it took him this long to realize that Jimena was the one he should have went to visit in the first place. That's all I'm saying. But, you know, Ricky got his, and Jimena seems to be in the middle of her whole moment. She's enjoying life. She's having a good time. I don't know if this relationship is going to turn into anything, because I really feel like this girl is just trying to have a good time, but she seems to like Ricky. So best of luck to them. Let's move on to the next couple. So next is Tariq and Hazel. So this week, Tariq and Hazel are meeting Dean. Tariq and Hazel put on their matching mesh shirts, honey, and go out to a restaurant to meet up with Dean so he can meet his future sister-in-law, Hazel. You know, what was that mesh shirt? Let's just talk about that for a second, because, you know, I think Tariq, he's like 40 something. So that means he grew up in that Bobby Brown, like 90s R&B era. And I think he got stuck there because, you know, the whole plaid on plaid with the khaki, like he thinks he's in an R&B video. He thinks he is in an R&B video. Like he thinks life is an R&B video, clearly. Because I remember when people back in the day used to wear those mesh shirts with nothing underneath it to show off their muscles. Back in like the mid 90s, that was the style. But, you know, Tariq doesn't really have muscles, so he had to put on a wife beater under his. But that is so played out. I couldn't believe he pulled out that mesh shirt. And then she had hers on too. I was like, what are y'all doing? They go to this cute little restaurant to meet up with Dean, and Hazel is a nervous wreck. You know what? And anytime somebody has to meet a member of your family, you have to give them a pep talk first. You already know it's not gonna go good. Okay, you know, he means well, you know, he look aggressive, but anytime you have to do the pep talk or explain the person's personality before the person meets them, it's not gonna go well. Okay, you already know. Hazel's nervous. She's scared. She's hiding behind Tariq. Finally, they see Dean sitting at the table. He's on the inside. They sit down, and Dean does not hold back. He is hitting Hazel with question after question after question. What are her intentions? What about her ex? Is she still with him? Why are her clothes still in his place? Hazel cannot speak. She is so intimidated by this dude because Dean is intimidating. And let me just say this about Dean. I think that Dean is on 1200. Dean drunk 8 cups of coffee before this interview. Dean was ready to go. And I think that Dean means well because he knows Hazel's true intentions. Like I said last week, Hazel is being real honest with all of us and the cameras and the TLC producers. She's not being honest with Tariq about her intentions and her feelings for him and the reason why she's with him. Tariq has no clue at all what Hazel's intentions are. I know some people were saying, she said he promised me this life. They think that Tariq really does know why Hazel wants to be with him, but he's just, you know, blinded. Tariq has no clue. He said Dean's trying to see if she just wants to get a green card and get to a better life in America. Tariq, that's what she said. She told us that. She said that. Dude, do you not know this? So clearly to me, Tariq is not aware of Hazel's plan. He's clearly not aware, and Dean is trying in his earnest to open Tariq's eyes. Now, I agree with Dean's plan. I agree with the fact that he's trying to open his brother's eyes and get him to see, dude, this girl is just trying to get with you to have a better life. She just wants your money. She wants to get her son back. I get that plan. The way he went about it was a little bit too strong. Now, all the questions that he was asking, like why is she still with her ex? What are her true intentions? Those were all valid questions to me. Where Dean went wrong was when he started basically accusing Hazel of being an unfit mother, because, you know, in America, we kind of have this thought that when there's a custody battle, the mother always gets the child. And we kind of have this unwritten rule that if the mother doesn't get the child, that means something's wrong with the mother. And I know this is not true in all cases. I know y'all about to jump in the comments and say, well, I know it's not true in all cases. But 9 times out of 10, when there is a split couple and they're trying to decide who gets the child, who the judge gonna get a child to? Not the daddy. He's gonna give it to the mama 9 times out of 10. If the child goes to the father, that usually means that the father has had to prove in court that the mother is unfit, because the mother is the default. The judge is going to give it to the mother. If the father proves that the mother's unfit, then the father will get the child. That's usually how it goes. I know there's different cases, but typically that's how it goes. And that's what Dean's thinking about, is in our country, you know, what's wrong with the mama if she don't have her child? Why the mama don't have her baby? That's what he's thinking. So he's like, something wrong with you? Why you don't have your baby? And, you know, the thing about it is, Hazel's just poor. Hazel couldn't take care of her child, so she had to give him up to the dad. I think that at that point, Tariq should have stepped in and said, dude, the reason why she doesn't have her child is because she could not take care of him. She just can't afford it. She works and doesn't make much money. She gave him to the father so that he could have a better life because he couldn't get it with her. Now, I don't know if Tariq didn't step in and correct him because Tariq just doesn't know why Hazel doesn't have her child, which makes sense to me because they don't know each other, and I don't think they've talked or had deep conversations about this. Or if it was just such a tense moment that he didn't know what to say. He was in shock. I don't know which, but he should have stepped in at that point and set his brother straight. I think that was where Dean went wrong, was basically accusing this girl of being an unfit mother, and she's already hurting probably because she had to give her child up. So I really felt bad for Hazel. Look at it from her point of view. You were too poor to take care of your child. You had to give it to the father, and then here comes some dude calling you an unfit mother because you don't have your child. That's hurtful, because I'm sure she feels bad already that she couldn't keep him. This upsets her so bad, and she, you know, Dean is still screaming, I was trying to be respectful. No, you weren't, Dean. You were very rude, actually. You were not respectful at all. You could have asked those same exact questions with a different tone and a different approach. He could have got to the bottom of Hazel's intentions without being loud and boisterous and disrespectful and rude. I was with him on what he was trying to do. His approach was all wrong, and it was rude and disrespectful, and it was uncalled for. I think he was doing it for ratings, of course, the drama. I'm sure the producers talked him up and said, you know, can you be a little boisterous? Because we need the drama factor. I get that. But for him to say he was trying to be respectful, no, he was not. He didn't even try. He wasn't trying to be respectful at all. He was rude. He was brash. It was a mess, and this, I agree with Tariq, this was a bad idea. He know his brother, and he knew he wasn't going to act right, and he shouldn't have never did this. Hazel takes off running down the street. She don't want nothing to do with Tariq. I think she's rethinking this whole life that she could possibly have with him, because if she goes to America, she's going to have to deal with Dean, and I don't know if she wants this anymore. She might have to find a new American to move in with and get a better life. Oh, poor Hazel. Lord have mercy. But that was it for Tariq and Hazel, so let's move on to our old couples. Alright, so I'm going to start with Jesse and Darcy. So I know I said I was going to lay them to rest last week, and they kind of are laid to rest. They kind of partially laid to rest. So we'll give them 2 minutes. This episode starts off with Jesse and Darcy waking up in the Airbnb, and they love to do like these fake like movie poses. Like they're sitting on the little porch, and he's sitting in the chair, and she's sitting on his lap, and the energy is just off. He's pissed still from whatever happened yesterday. She's trying to talk to him. It's just not working. You can tell when somebody's energy is off, and at that point, just leave him alone. But of course, she wants to talk through everything, and they're supposed to be going to the grocery store to shop for dinner because the girls are coming over, and Jesse and Darcy are bickering, just a mess. Jesse finally storms off and just says he's not gonna go, and Darcy goes and sits on the porch and waits for him, and he throws his little fit outside, and then he finally comes out and they go off to the store. Darcy feels the need to narrate life for some reason. Like, just do what you're gonna do. I hate how she talks through everything. We're gonna go to the grocery store because we're a happy family. I'm a great mom. This is my boyfriend, and our girls are coming over to eat dinner with us tonight. And Jesse's like, not my girls, not my girl. They're her girls. They're not my kids. Butcher's like, do you want 1 pound or 2 pounds? I don't care about what. what meat do you want? Like, I don't care about what you're doing for dinner. She's just so, like, I feel like she wants her life to be a TV show so bad. Like, she's just like, oh my gosh, we're gonna be a great family, and like, she's just so annoying. Like, I hate Jessie too, but I hate Darcy equally. She irritates the mess out of me. She's talking about babies in the grocery store. You want babies? You keep going in the and he's like, what? We're in the store. Like, girl, just live life. Everything doesn't need a narration. And so fast forward, they get home, and so they're cooking dinner. The girls are there. Janae, Iko, and Karuchi are back, and they look tired. They look over it already. I guess they just got home from school, maybe. They go up to do their homework. Darcy, once again, is narrating her entire life. You know, the girls are gonna get their backpacks off and go upstairs, and hey guys, and oh my God, Darcy, shut up. They start cooking dinner. Everything's good. Everything's cool. Darcy decides to let Jessie cook the steak. She's making the rice and whatever else. And then she decides she needs to just manage him just down to the little nitpick. She's just a nitpicker. And she's just micromanaging the cooking of a steak. Like, this man feels like he's grown and he can cook a steak. And my thing is, if she said that she worked in a restaurant and she knows how steak's supposed to be cooked and whatever. If you worked in a restaurant and you know how a steak's supposed to be cooked, then you cook the steak and give him something easy like the rice. So he doesn't know how to season it right. And he's supposed to flip it in a certain way. I don't know what. And he's trying to hold it together because the kids are there. And he's just holding on, but I can see his last nerve. Like, I see the nerve. I saw it. I saw the nerve. And then I saw it snap. He had one good nerve left, and she just tap danced on it until it broke. Jesse throws the steak down. He's like, you do it then, I'm done. He goes outside on the front porch. The girls, one of the daughters, I think it was Janae Iko, she walked in right into the middle of the argument, walked back out, went upstairs. She said, I don't want nothing to do with this. The other one was sitting there the whole time. And, you know, of course they're going to take their mom's side, but I don't think they know the whole story. I'm like, your mom is annoying. Like, I see exactly why he snapped, because I would have snapped too. He looked like he was looking in that drawer for a knife to stab her with. She said he needed to cut the steak on a bias. I don't even know what that means. I don't think she knows what the word bias means. Did she mean an angle against the grain? The steak wasn't rested. She butchered it. She chopped it up like she was cutting it with a butter knife. It didn't look good even after she did it. So I don't know why she was acting like she knew so much about steak. It was a mess, y'all. I don't even know if they ate. Once again, another meal has been ruined by these two. They have not eaten this whole season. I've not seen them eat a meal together this entire season. They just can't do it. I've said it before and I'll say it again. These two need to break up. It's over. End it. That's it for these two. I went over my 2 minutes. Last couple. Alright, so last is Paul and Karine. So Paul and Karine are going through the theatrics this week, y'all. They are trying to make us think that they're not going to get married, and like Karine's actually contemplating not marrying Paul. Girl, good night. We know y'all getting married. Y'all can stop with the theatrics and the tears. The only thing that seemed real to me was the conversation that Karine's mom had with her when they were trying on the wedding dresses. But let's just breeze through this episode with them real quickly. Starts off with them meeting up with her parents to discuss what's going on in their relationship. Paul once again hires a translator. Good move, Paul, because they still don't speak each other's languages even after like a year and a half of being together. Karine kind of opens up to her parents and says that Paul treats her bad when they're at home, and I didn't think that Karine was necessarily lying, but I was like, okay, clearly TLC cameras aren't capturing the whole of their relationship, because I've never really seen Paul do anything past like mere annoyance. Like, he's annoying, but I've never seen him do anything like real hurtful and mean. And she acting like he's screaming at her and making her cry every day, and I haven't seen that. I'm not saying he doesn't do it. I'm just saying we haven't seen that side of him. He's just being sweet and nice to her in front of his parents, but that's not the real him. The parents are concerned. They're like, are you sure you want to get married? And she says she don't know. Then Paul and Karine go and have their own conversation through phone translator, of course, and passing the phone back. That's the most, do y'all know how annoying it is to watch two people have a conversation through a phone, through a translator, where the translators talk, like passing, that's so irritating to me. But anyway, of course, they go back and forth and act like they have all these issues and they're not going to get married. And then finally at the end, Karine's like, okay, we can get married. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so shocked. I never thought this relationship would come to this. So then Karine goes with her mom to try on wedding dresses. The first dress shows off her baby bump way too much. First thing Karine did when she put it on was hold her stomach. because you could see the baby bump a little bit. It wasn't very flattering. The second dress hid the baby bump very well. It had a lot of ruching across the waist, a lot of cinching that hid the baby belly really well. So I felt like that was a good pick of a dress. And then her mom starts crying. Y'all, this was hard to watch. Her mom starts crying. She's like, you know, please, are you sure about this? Are you sure you want to marry this man? And you know, Karini's like, I love Paul, you know, but, you know, she wants that better life. And she's like, I got to have a better life for me and this baby. And her mom's like, well, if he don't do right, if he don't treat you right, please come back to me. And she just starts crying and hugging her. And at this point, even I got a little emotional. I'm not an emotional person, but that seemed real. That was the most genuine scene that I had seen the whole episode, because I really felt like it was a mom pleading with her daughter to be like, really, really think about this girl. Like, are you sure? Like, please, if one thing goes wrong, you can always come back home. I felt like that was her mom saying, my doors are open. Like, you're still my baby. Just come home if it's not right. And, oh, gosh, my heart strings. It was so just heart-wrenching, because she knows that this man is a fool. But, you know, Karini is hell-bent on this better life for her and her unborn child. And so she's going to do what she needs to do. An update on my theory with Paul and Karini. So I thought about it long and hard this week, y'all, and I think I've decided on the theory that this baby is not Paul's, that Karini is pulling a fast one on him and trying to pass this baby off as his. The reason why I think this is because if you'll remember, go back to the first episode, and if you watch the scene where Paul and Karini are meeting up when he flies in and lands, and she's going to pick him up. She's riding in a car now, and she's talking about, you know, whatever's been going on in their relationship while he's been gone. Karini says she didn't think Paul was coming back. She thought the first time when Paul left to go back to America, she was like, I didn't think he was going to come back. I'm surprised he even came. So that to me says that Karini, even though she kept in communication with Paul, of course she's not going to burn that bridge just in case. But it says to me that she moved on with her life and probably started talking to other men and slipped up and got pregnant. And now she's like, oh my God, Paul came back. So now she needs to quick, fast, in a hurry, get this family plan, get this, I want to have a baby with you, really, really quick, so that he'll think the baby's his. The first thing Paul needs to do when that baby is born is get a DNA test, because I do not think that that baby is his. I don't think that she's 4 months plus pregnant. I think she's probably like 3, which doesn't line up with the dates of Paul leaving and coming back. So that's just my theory. But that was it for Paul and Karini, and that's it for this recap. Thank you guys so much for watching me every single week. You never know how much I truly appreciate each one of you who clicks on my videos all the time. Thank you so much to my new subscribers. Welcome. And thank you to every single one of you who watch, like, comment, leave me all kinds of information that I never would have known if it weren't for you guys doing your super detective investigative work. I thank you guys so, so much. You guys are the best. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter at NICHI_P_tweets for all my live tweets during the show as it airs. And if you don't have a Twitter page, then you need to get one. So you can follow hashtag 90DayFiance, hashtag before the 90 days to see all the crazy tweets that the Twitter fan puts out on Sunday nights. I'm telling you, we get together and collectively roast this cast, and it is amazing. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the recap next week. Bye. Y'all, I'm gonna just be honest. I am feeling a little bit under the weather. Sound like Jesse. Jesus.